Welcome back, everybody. This is your host, Blake Wright, with Central Valley Charter Schools, and you're listening to your Transition PACE podcast. So September, we got to shine a bunch of great big spotlights on our amazing new Student Support Plus teammates. And if you haven't seen those already, go check them out right after this video. You don't want to miss it. We just so many amazing team members to meet and learn about, and honestly, it's some of my favorite videos. You gotta go see them. Anyway, so for today, I'm beyond excited for our special guest as we get to highlight our school's very own transition program. So how do you feel about our transition program, our broadcast today, Jonathan?
Blake, I feel a great big Tony the Tiger, great. Little cheesy, I know, but April Green is in the studio today. Uh-oh. Did I let the cat out of the bag?
Be a little. No, you're fine. You're fine, Jonathan. April is a great, amazing team member that we have that helps lead our transition team. And having her on, like, the excitement gets to you. I don't blame you at all for letting it out of the bag.
I mean, she's a superstar. I know I'm a little on the biased side, but I just absolutely love her. And we're excited today to hear her respond to some of our, I guess you could say, common questions that families have about the transition department. Recently, I shared with the family that this team does so much more than just help students prepare for employment. They help them prepare for life.
Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. I mean, we've got a huge team of teachers, case managers, and job coaches that are really kind of more like life coaches, really. Especially because, we help them with these services of independent living skills, personal goals, home economic skills, and so much more. But I could go on forever about our amazing team and what they do, but let's get our superstar in here, shall we? So April, welcome to today's podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
We are glad to have you here, April. Okay, before we get started on some of our I'm calling them Mythbuster questions. What is exactly, April, your title, what that entails? Also, please share with our listeners how long you've been in education, how long you've been with our school, etc.
Yeah, so I am our transition specialist for our Mod Severe students, and this entails working with students, families, case managers, learning coaches, and community agencies. And the scope is large, but our goal is to help prepare our students for success after high school. I've worked with education for 23 years and have worked with a wide range of students from infants to adults with a variety of support needs. And I've been with Central Valley Charter for 5 years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, April, for sharing that. And so with our introductions aside, let's go ahead and jump into our questions. So I got the honor of doing the first hard-hitting question of our, as Jonathan has mentioned, our Mythbuster questions. April, I was wondering, for those watching and listening, what is transition and what are the transition services for?
Yeah, so transition has the focus on 3 different areas. We focus on college awareness, career awareness, and independent living skills. And these services are designed around student interest and need. They are meant to help the student be as independent and successful when they complete high school.
I love it. And I think that's why I'm so biased towards this program, is because I love how it's focused and centered around student interests and needs. So I have the privilege of asking the next question, and that is, what does it look like for the Mod Severe or the ATP? And for those listeners who are like, ATP, and that's Adult Transition Program.
Yeah, so our Mod Severe students and adult transition students, these services can include a variety of skills from learning their personal information, like their first and last name, address, phone number, date of birth, or it could be how to stay safe in the community, how to ask for help, what to do in an emergency, how to be safe on the internet, and how to budget money, how to grocery shop, the difference between their wants and needs, making sure they have enough money when it comes to the end of the month. Our goal is to work with the student and their learning coaches to develop a plan that will boost their success and independence. And it looks different for each individual student based on their unique needs and their interests.
Awesome. That's one of my favorite parts about our transition program is that individual needs. Every person is so unique and individual, and the fact that the program is designed to tailor to those unique needs and interests is amazing. Does each student who maybe they don't may not go to college or may not have a career still benefit from these transition services?
This is such a great question. I absolutely love this question. It can be confusing for families to see services designated as college or career, especially if it might not be achievable for them right now. But there are so many transferable skills that help students live their most independent lives. As I shared previously, there's a wide range and variety of skills that fit into each category. For example, safety skills would fit into both college and career, because in order to be successful at college or in a job, you would need to be able to get there safely. This could include public transportation, taking an Uber or rideshare, walking on the street, crossing the street, asking for help if they get lost, how to identify safety hazards, what to do in an emergency. Do they know their phone number and address in case they need to be able to give that information to an officer or something if there's an incident. How to talk to their supervisor. There's so many life skills that transfer into independence. It allows us the freedom to develop a plan and fit every student's unique needs.
I love that. Again, back to that fitting the students' unique needs. I love that, and thank you for clarifying that. That's so helpful. That just because a student may not be ready for college at the moment, that these skills are still transferable. I was thinking of my work as you're talking with one of my students in the realm of time management. That's something that a job or a career or college that it would be important, but it's really important in all areas of life is time management. So, okay, next question. Why does the IEP say college and career when the student has, they don't have plans to do either?
Another great question. It really comes down to legal requirements that are part of IDEA, specifically indicators 13 and 14. Schools are required to prepare all students with the necessary skills to have independence and success after high school. And as I shared previously, there are so many transferable skills.
Awesome. Yeah, and so we have all these skills. We have this flexibility for these unique needs, and we really tailor them to the individual. But what if even that's what if we're still scared or maybe nervous about this? Maybe just that wordage of college and career is still a little bit worrisome. And could the student opt out of these transition services?
Yeah, so to put it simply, no, it is a legal requirement that the school has to provide. I work hard to work with our families and students to ensure their individual and unique needs are being met in the best manner that will boost their independence. So it's not something that families can opt out of. It is a legal requirement, and we really do work hard to collaborate with those families and our students and their case managers and their entire IEP teams to make sure that we are legally compliant, but also focusing on the students' needs.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay, so quick question. So there's a focus on the student needs. So does this mean that transition services are personalized?
Absolutely. Each student has unique needs and preferences. They learn differently, they're motivated differently, and the thing I love most about transition is there isn't a set of standards that we are required to teach to. And that allows us to fully personalize plans to meet their support needs and what matters most to the student and their families.
Awesome. Thank you so much, April, for sharing and explaining all these things. Again, I know it could be, kind of scary to see those words on there, but just knowing that everything and every student is seen as an individual and everything is so personalized around them to their unique needs is just incredible. And one of the reasons why our transition team is so amazing. I honestly don't know what we would do without you, April. So thank you again so much for taking the time to join us. Jonathan, would you do the honors of taking this out?
Absolutely. I just want to just say before I close this out that all that April shared today, or Miss Green, is the reason why I love this program. And so before we head out, April, if there's a family out there who has, they have questions about this program, or they would like more information, or maybe they're on the fence about, wait a second, I'm still stuck on that phrase job coach when my student may not be ready for work right now, or they just have what next questions. Would you be willing to share your contact information or who to be in touch with?
Yes, absolutely. So my personal email address is April, like the month, .green, like the color, at centralvcs.org. And you can call or text me at 559-258-1445. We can also link our transition website at the bottom of this podcast. And we can also link our transition s'more so that parents have a place to get some quick question and answers if they want that to review as well.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to go ahead and put that information in the comment section. And feel free, please, to reach out if you have any questions. Well, it was so much fun and informative having you on today, April, and sharing, it was nice to hear you share how helpful this program is to all of our families. You and this team are just invaluable assets to our school and to our students and to our families. And we just give you a great big heartfelt bravo and thank you. To our listeners, be sure to share some love in the comment section. If you have love for Mrs. April Green and our transition team, please share away. We want to make them feel just loved. And so that's going to do it for today's podcast. Until next time, thank you for tuning in to your Transition Pace podcast, and we will see you on the next one.